Have you seen the Black Love doc? Hate it. This is the Joyfully Married After podcast, episode 30. This is Joyfully Married After with Heath and Tracy. I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
We're joyfully married after how many years, baby?
26.
26 years, 4 kids, corporate jobs, entrepreneurs, and this podcast is our view on life through our lens.
Let's go.
So, do I really hate the Black Love doc?
I think you do.
I hate it, but I love it.
You love it. You just told everybody you hated it.
Is that what I said?
You said hate it.
Oh, yeah, in the intro. So, I mean, I think that really gets at the core of this podcast today.
Yeah, it started when I asked Heath when he was going to watch it with me.
Yeah, and I was like, I saw it already, baby.
I said, baby, there's a new season.
But I saw it last season.
But there's more couples this season.
And I was like, so I ain't on there. Why didn't you call me?
Now you being a hater. That's just haterade.
That is not haterade. I'm just saying, hey, y'all need a dope couple like the Turners on there.
They have dope couples like the Turners on there.
Yeah, they do have a lot of dope couples on there. Shout out to Black Love doc.
But why do we not like it?
Because apparently it's not the norm.
Okay, what's up with that?
So it's like, for us, it's very normal.
I grew up in a black neighborhood.
I grew up in Southwest Atlanta, which is like one of the blackest neighborhoods on planet Earth.
I had black parents who were married.
I had friends of my parents like everywhere, all of, people on my street, people in our circle, in our neighborhood.
So many black couples.
At our school, all of my friends' parents. It was just very normal for me.
My parents got divorced and got remarried, both of them.
Which is the norm. If you get divorced, then people get remarried.
I know. What's up? Why is this such a phenomenon?
Is our age telling on us?
You think?
I mean, we didn't know it was a phenomenon.
I really did.
For a good part of our marriage.
Well, okay, let me ask the question then.
What's the question, baby?
When did you figure out that being black and married with children was a phenomenon?
I used to be a newspaper reader. And I think back in the day when I would open up my Atlanta Journal-Constitution or the Wall Street Journal or some of these myriad of publications that I used to read pretty frequently, like in my hand, the old school joints.
Papers everywhere in my house, y'all.
Yeah, they were stacked up.
It was like, baby, can I throw this stack away?
Let's see. Let me see. There might be a couple in there that I haven't read yet.
And then you would cut out articles.
I would have cut some articles. Yeah,
I'd be like, oh my God, the house is gonna catch on fire.
I had a nice file going for a while.
Yeah, I'm so glad we've moved away from paper.
I think I might still have a file.
Yeah, and he did want to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't consume as much content in that way that I used to, but now I take it in so many different ways, right?
Digitally, I hope.
So a lot of
lot less mess.
A lot of digital content now in my life. But I think that what I was saying, baby, was that during the times that I was really reading a lot of papers in the 90s and in the 2000s, I began to see all this statistical analysis about marriage in the United States, and the divorce rate had eclipsed
50% of people getting married are going to get divorced.
Yeah, I think when it eclipsed 50%, it was like 52, so it was like big news or something like that. And then there's additional breakdowns of different communities, different populations of the U.S. and their divorce rates and that kind of thing.
Where did it say about black people?
It was like, black people not getting married no more.
Oh, no.
I was like, when did this start?
I know.
The numbers were going down. They were dwindling, and we had all these other kinds of things happening. I was just like, wow, I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Well, my wake-up call, I think after I had Brendan.
That was our last child.
Our fourth child.
Number 4.
I think someone was like, how many does this make for you? And we were in a group, and I said, oh, this is my 4th.
Right,
I have 2 boys, and I have 2 girls. And the person standing there next to the other person said, from the same dude.
You got 4 kids from the same guy?
And I was like, yeah.
My husband.
and y'all married? And I was like, yeah. It was like, what? Why are you surprised?
Right.
Now, was I being At that point, I felt really, really naive.
Right. Right.
Because think about it. Okay, we just told you how our childhoods were. Then we ended up going to the real HU.
You know.
And
Howard University.
there was a lot of black love there.
There was black love everywhere.
It was too much black love.
It was bumping out the sack.
So, okay, so it's perpetuated. It's going. We got the black love still going. And then we left college, and all of our friends got married.
Yeah. There were probably 10, 20, 30 couples of people that we knew personally that were close to or fairly close to that were married. And they're still married today.
Right. But I do remember in one of my political science classes, the professor saying, check this. Your daughters will probably marry someone of the lighter persuasion.
Or someone other than black people.
Right. He didn't say your daughters will probably never get married.
Right.
He didn't say that. So I'm trying to figure out where along the way. Back to our friends.
Yep.
Check this, y'all. Out of maybe 7 couples of us that all got married around the same time that still kind of know and hang around each other.
Some of our closer friends,
6 are still married.
Yep.
Married, kids, all kind of issues throughout the years.
Doing the doggone thing.
Doing it 20 plus years.
Right.
Now, some people are divorced.
Yeah.
We're not talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Why is this black love doc a phenomenon? Okay, so maybe it's this. Maybe it's a phenomenon because it's on TV.
Is it a phenomenon because it's on TV?
Think about it.
Huh.
So the last black family to be on television like that.
Right. Cosby's.
And we usually only get one at a time, y'all.
Cosby's.
Everybody Hates Chris.
I
love that show.
We can't count Wakanda, right?
No. They not married.
Right.
Good Times. They were married and then they killed him. That sucked.
Yep.
What else? Think of some other ones. So we got Good Times. Oh, the Jeffersons. They were married.
Yep.
Julia was single. I Spy, he was single.
Yep.
But I remember watching movies like Get a Piece of the Action and Being Along All Stars. The dudes were married.
Yep.
So those cool movies, and we're telling our age, we know.
It's all right.
We were used to seeing married people.
It's very normal for us.
It was normal for us.
Right.
I think somewhere along the way, our culture pushed forward not getting married. And we accepted it.
Yeah.
I think somewhere along the way, we accepted it. So now that we see it on television again. Oh, and we forgot. We didn't forget, but one of our favorites, Blackish.
Yeah.
And then everybody got all in uproar when they started going through their thing. Right. I got it. I didn't watch it because it strikes a chord when you're married and you've been through that. It definitely strikes a chord because it's painful.
It does. Yep. It is.
I couldn't even watch those episodes because I enjoy the fun part of their marriage and their union with their kids.
Yeah. They started depicting some other things.
Yeah. And I started, that's why I watched the show.
Right.
But when they started going through their thing, I didn't even want to watch it because we've been through that.
Yeah. And we saw a lot of people going, I'm done with them. I'm through with them.
Right. And I knew they were going to come through it.
We're just sort of that same psychology that we're talking about with the Black Love doc, is that the people want the feel good. They want to have the holy grail. They want to see the North Star of these phenomenal relationships and these cool stories that these couples had.
Right.
These couples have. And how they went through what they went through. Yeah.
And that's why I didn't watch Blackish those weeks, because I've seen that's too real. And I wanted to laugh. And so because we've been through that, I didn't want to see that.
Escapism. I get it.
Yeah, it is. But that wasn't escapism.
Yeah.
So I got why everybody didn't want to watch them. But the couples that we have seen on television were fictional for the most part. Then we got Michelle and Barack.
We did. The Obamas.
Fantastic, phenomenal example.
Yeah, people
of a family.
People in my Facebook feed still use their pictures sometimes as their avatar.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And okay, that's cool and everything. And then here comes Black Love Doc. And here we are again, which I love the fact that it's on television. I will say that, guys. We're just kind of joshing you. But what we do hate about it is that it's a phenomenon. Right. We really, really need this to be normal. Heath and I went to a wedding of a coworker last year.
We don't hate that as a phenomenon. We hate that it's not the norm.
Right. That's what we hate.
Yes.
We went to a coworker's wedding last year.
Which wedding? In the mountains?
Yes. And one of Heath's coworkers said, "Oh my God, I've got a wedding to go to next week. I've been to 27 weddings in 2 years."
He did say that.
And we were like, "What?"
Yeah, he's in his 20s, maybe his early 30s.
Lighter
I think
persuasion.
He was in his late 20s.
Lighter persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
And Heath and I were flabbergasted.
I'm like, what? Say what?
I picked up my phone and I texted my 27-year-old. And I said, this dude sitting next to me just said he's been to 27 weddings.
In like the last 2 years.
In the last 2 years. And he has like 8 to go in this summer. And she was like, what? So, guys.
Because it's a different experience for him.
Yeah.
As opposed to our daughter.
She said she didn't even know 27 couples, much less having an agenda of 27 weddings.
Right.
That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong right there.
Yeah.
We're not even uniting. We're not even uniting, guys.
Yeah.
So look at Black Love Doc and remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking to our singles now.
Check it out.
Okay.
And one thing, just on a little more serious note, one thing that we haven't touched on is, the 1 million plus black men that were sort of taken out of the system and that are in the system.
Sort of taken out of the
which
system.
Which is a whole nother conversation that we'll get to a different day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Yeah.
Do you think some of those brothers wouldn't be there if they had their other half?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, you can extrapolate what those lives would be like on so many different levels if they had some outlets, if they had opportunities with the internet platforms and the way things are today versus then the criminalization of
everything,
of marijuana and other things.
Please don't talk about that. We might have to do a show about that because that just pisses me off.
But the point is that, yes, they would have a number of cool opportunities and family building dynamics were they not sucked into those situations.
Yeah, I think if you start your children with the focus on the family, that's one thing we do with our kids.
We do.
I tell each of them, no one else's blood is the same but you four. This is for the rest of your lives.
That's true.
So when one of you needs something, there's 3 other people that can help you. The one might not be able to help you. The 2 might be able, but come on now. There's 3 of you all.
Right.
So when I first started telling them this when they were young, they're like, "Mama, you crazy. I am not going to be hooked up with this person right here who I can't stand for the rest of my life." And I just kind of beat it into them. Not literally, but, I just kind of just talked them into it.
Right.
And now they get it. They even say to me, I'm so glad we're so close. So what you have to instill in your children from the beginning is the importance of family.
Yes.
And the dynamic of a family is that first union. So if you instill the importance of your child money, if you instill in the importance of your child in education, that's what they're going to do first.
That's right.
They're not going to look for a family to build. They're going to look for money. They're going to look for status. They're going to look for education before they look for a family. And that's what they're going to get.
Yep.
So be careful what you teach your children.
Careful what you wish for.
The other question. Oh,
you just might get it all.
Okay. The other question was, who told us it wasn't?
The statistical analysis that I alluded to earlier. I think that, you can see what's happening in society around you. What's going on with people and the dating sites, right? The proliferation of the dating sites and the apps and, you have single mother households that are proliferating, and all of these things really point to the realities of the day. And so I think that the evidentiary picture of what we deal with every day.
Yeah, I think it's important to not shortchange people's decisions. We're not doing that.
Right. Yeah.
We're talking about the phenomenon with Black Love.
Exactly right. No shade for any divorcees, any single parent households.
Absolutely not.
Much love to everybody out there doing your thing, raising your kids, working, doing the best you can. Shout out from the Turners.
And we're talking to people who are either married or looking to be married.
Yes.
And in that, we're looking at the phenomenon of Black love and why it's so much excitement in our community. And we're happy about that.
Yes.
To be honest.
Very much so. Very much so.
What we're upset about is that it is a phenomenon.
And that's why we hate it.
So society told us, you think?
I think society told us.
The statistics, what you read in the paper, what you see on the news.
It's sort of a business term, right? The market is the market. The market is going to tell you what it is. That's what's happening.
I think somewhere along the way we accepted being baby mamas and baby daddies. Yep. And you're not shortchanging anybody but the child. You know? Yeah. You're not shortchanging anybody but the child. And, you know, I've had friends who've had children by choice without the father being involved. Yep. And I remember kind of having fallouts with them because before they made the decision, I just told them that I don't know about that. Right. You know, I don't know about that. And I think that is the that's a hard one. Yeah, I mean, you know, life is full of choices. People make decisions about what it is that they want to do, what they value, and you know, some people feel like, hey, my reality is I haven't found a mate. It's not looking great for me finding a mate, but I really have a lot of love to give. I have the financial wherewithal, and so this is what I'm going to do. How did we get here though? When you talk about like the whole thinking that it's normal. We think it's normal because all of our friends are married. We think it's normal because we're married. We think it's normal because our parents were married. Yeah. That's why we think it's normal. Yeah. And we're successful because we're surrounded by, you know, people that want it this way. Exactly right. I think I always tell people, you know, the difference between you today and 5 years from now is what you listen to, what you read, and who you associate with. Yeah. And so for us, and I've always tried to associate with positive people, and that a lot of times that is couples, people that we are like-minded, that we have close friends and people that we're friendly with, you know, very typically are couples. Right. And so from that perspective, that's important. And that's, you know, birds of a feather, as they say, right? Really. And I think the other thing, baby, that I want to point out to our audience is that for me, the reason this was normal was because this is what I accepted in my mind, and this is what I strove to do in my life. When I decided to get married, I decided that I was going to be married for the rest of my life. And when I made that decision, I employed some self-awareness and I understood that within me and myself, I like to be happy. Right. I like to have fun. I like to be joyful. And so if I'm going to do that, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing that in my relationship, in my marriage. And that's what I've always tried to do. And so for me, never accepting that divorce was an option. Right. So I've always taken the approach, even when we went through our situation, right, I've always taken the approach that the best thing to do is to stay married. And so I just want to give some advice to people listening to this who are looking to pull some value out of that, is that if you're married, the best thing to do is to stay married. That's the first thing. And if you want to be married, the best thing to do is to make sure that you're striving for being your best self, understanding that you want to work through whatever it is that you need to work through, and then you will just attract that person that you're looking for in your life, and it's going to be all gravy. Yeah, it really helps to be around other married people. I think when we went through we've had a couple hiccups, and when we went through our last hiccup, which was about 10 years ago? Yeah, something like about that. 10 years ago? We walked through it with a little bit of help, you know. We had friends who had either gone through the same thing or whatever, and at first they're like, what the hell? You know, and then after that they're like, okay, so this is what you need to do. And it was helpful from the standpoint of just getting a different point of view and getting it from someone who sincerely cared about you and your marriage. Yep. You know, so when you're married, you have to continue to surround yourself with people like you. That's right. Who like you. Yeah. Not people who, you know, are just around you because of the car you drive or the house you live in or the job you have. You have to surround yourself with true friends, true support. And to get you through. Yep. Because if you don't have that, I mean, our friends have reached out to us with the same issues. And what we do is say, okay, this is how we hold it together. You know, not, okay, girl, you need to go ahead and leave, because we know what that means. We know what that means when you walk away. Right. And we know what you have to go through, how you rebuild, how you deal with the children, how you deal with the finances. We know what that means. So in knowing that with each other, we were able to help one another get through our hiccups, get through our bumps, and just get to, sometimes you just listen. We had one set of friends, we just listened. It wasn't even, it was no advice given. It was just like, okay, you know, okay. And then it would be advice. Okay, girl, you need to do this. Or, you know, I don't think you should do that, dude, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't anything. It was all loving and it was all supportive. So if you're married mm-hmm. and you find yourself only having friends that are single, mm-hmm. you need to change that situation.
Yeah, yeah. And no shade to the singles. It's just one of those things where you need people who are experienced in this space, who know marriage, who want to be married, who support and edify marriage. And that way you can get some of those best practices and thought processes and deploy them in your life.
Right, right. So that's something to also keep in mind is who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yep.
Now, as far as the Black Love doc is concerned, they all talk about how they met, which is nice. Those are nice stories.
They are, baby.
And they talk about infidelity.
Yep.
And they talk about how they got through those things.
Yep.
And I think all of that is really good. But mm-hmm. what you want to remember is you're looking at what they want you to see.
Right, right, right.
It's so much deeper than that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think it gives people. I think it gives people in a piece of evidence that shows them, hey, this can be done. This was their situation. They went through it. They learned from it. They got better on the other side. So this is a beacon of light for me.
Right. So we don't really hate Black Love. We haven't watched the second season yet. We like to binge watch. So mm-hmm. we're going to sit down and watch it now that the final one has posted.
It's about to be on.
And we'll enjoy it just like everyone else. We'll tweet right along. You can tweet at us if you have any comments about this episode 30.
Yep.
Just tweet at us.
At Heath and Tracy TV.
Is that what it is?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're on the IG,
Heath Tracy.
Facebook,
Heath and Tracy TV.
Or just heathandtracy.com.
That's it. That's where all the goings on are. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to tell a friend. Thanks again for listening today, folks. If you liked any of what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend, too. You can engage us at heathandtracy.com for all the goings on in our world. Queen Tracy, speak to the people.
Bye, loves.